It's one of them. If I was gambling, I wouldn't touch.
Okay, Neil, who do you fancy?
Well, I did fancy Mark Allen, but the head-to-heads have got to count for something. I guess it'd be close.
Okay, boys, thanks as always. A reminder, if you do want to contact us here, including what I mentioned earlier about getting Jimmy to do stuff on the practice table later on in the week, use the hashtag #HomeNations. Right, our first match of the afternoon. Let's join our boys in the box. The 1986 champion of the world, Joe Johnson, is alongside our champion, David Hendon.
Thank you, Andy. Good afternoon, everybody. Yeah, Mark Allen is here, which is good to see after that defeat on Sunday. Maybe not good to see from his point of view as his opponent, Liang Wenbo, who's won all 5 of their previous meetings. This is a pretty brutal draw in the first round for both players. In these Home Nations events, the top 16 are seeded, but the rest of it is completely random. So you can play, in theory, the world number 17, even if you're in the top 16. Liang Wenbo's 29th, but a very dangerous player. Of course, he won the first ever Home Nations event in Manchester 2 years ago. So this would be very interesting, I think. Mark Allen looking to blow off the cobwebs after Sunday night. This is not a good start, though.
Well, that looks like he's just getting over the celebrations. That shot. I can't believe he's hit it that thick. Have another look at this. How did he hit the red there? So thick. It's to be expected that he would have celebrated, though. Had a terrific week. I know he wanted to win, but he was up against a man in Ronnie O'Sullivan that just didn't miss at some stages. And as David was saying, this is a very tough draw because although he is 29, he's a top 16 player. Never beaten Liang Wenbo, Mark Allen. And sometimes a player suits your type of game, and maybe Mark Allen just suits Liang Wenbo's type of game.
Well, they both like to attack. They both like an open game. It's already an open game, this first frame. But Liang Wenbo, he is looking for form. Been in a last 16 this season at the China Championship. Didn't get past the last 16 of any ranking event last season. That's why he's gone down the list. And also, of course, his points have come off from that English Open win 2 years ago. So 29th. As Joe says, it feels like a false position, but results don't lie. And also, he hasn't played in everything either, so that's why he's slipped back a little bit.
Yeah, he's one of those type of players, though, David, that you just expect him to do well in a tournament. It might just be a question of which tournament it's going to be and how big it's going to be. Depends on how many ranking points he's going to get. If he did it in the World Championship, for example, wow, straight back in the top 16. Yeah, can't afford to miss those, though. He could be lacking in confidence as well, Liang Wenbo, to shooting down the rankings. This is already a scrappy frame with the black, pink and the blue down the other end of the table. Trying to find a gap to play on the pink, and I think he's got it.
I'm glad he's come, though. You know, he didn't have to. He's earned 326,000 this season. He could have had the week off, but, you know, it's a chance for another title, and if he's disappointed about losing in the UK final, well, who's to say at the end of this week he won't have another trophy?
Seven. 8.
And he said himself, and he was honest enough to say, he didn't necessarily play his best snooker in York, but he still got within 4 frames of the title. There's no shame in losing 10-6 to Ronnie O'Sullivan.
Yes, Ronnie himself said that. 14. He put him under tremendous pressure. quality of play was superb. And as Mark himself said, against anybody else, he would probably have won.
15.
A couple of reds just below the pink. Will go. And if he could remove those reds, it frees the other reds into the left corner.
$21.
Mark Allen will be aware of the head-to-head between the two players. And I'll be trying to make sure that that doesn't happen again.
$22.
You do get these head-to-heads sometimes. The most famous, I suppose, anomaly is
28.
Mark Johnston Allen 3, Stephen Hendry 0 in ranking events. Stephen just couldn't beat him. Beats everyone else, of course.
29.
Yeah, just the wrong side of the pink here. He's going to have to play for that red to the right of the black. He'd have liked to have been on the two reds to the left corner. Oh no.
Mark Allen 29.
Oh, he's dropped lucky there. He's covered the red. Holds his hands up. Very fortunate. But a surprising miss on the pink. Fully expected him to get that one. Tried to bring the black into play. At the same time trying to get the cue ball in behind the green. It's a good shot he attempted there. He has freed the black. Nearly made two 147s in the same match. That's some player.
Yeah, it's against Rod Lawler, first qualifying round of the World Championship. Missed the last black on 140, 2 frames after the maximum. That would have been historic, of course, to make 2 in the same match. But as Neil Foltz said, then 2 rounds later he lost 10-0. So it really was a roller coaster ride. Liang Wenbo, I mean, no, really should not lose 10-0 to anyone. He's so good. But obviously, as that match went on against Jamie Jones, he must have become frustrated, and towards the end, maybe just couldn't wait to get out of there.
This looks pretty good. Yeah, he couldn't have hit that any better. Great safety shot from Liang Wenbo. He'll be looking to try and land up to the red closest to the left corner or the right corner. Difficult to see him leaving anything on.
Foul and miss. And Wenbo 4.
Well, I think that's the most dangerous red to play on, because he could make contact with the red that's near the right side cushion, that's out in the open. If he played to the other red, nearest the left corner, there's no danger of hitting another red.
I think that's about right, Mark. Yeah. Thank you.
Nicely played. Oh, wow.
Foul,
Thought
miss.
he'd hit it.
And Wenbo 4.
And he can keep going at this as many times as it takes to hit the red, because he can't see a red full ball, so can keep going back and back. He's dangerously close to that red in the middle of the table, and he doesn't want to hit that one. He may leave a red on if he hits that red. So he's realised the danger of that red in the middle of the tip, well, out in the open and coming round the 3 cushions. A shorter pace.
Foul and miss. Liang Wenbo 4.
And direction, because he doesn't want to hit the red next to it to the right. Well, the red goes, so that was a real misjudgment by Mark Allen. These pockets are not playing big at all. So close. Nicely on the black. Had it gone in?
Well, Mark Allen was in trouble a moment ago, but now he has a chance.
Well, he can pot the red direct.
One.
Oh, that's unfortunate. The red covering the pink to the middle. Could have been end of frame there.
Yeah, it's a very positive way of playing it to try and develop these reds.
Mark Allen 1.
Mark Allen up to 6th in the world now after these run in York. That's joint highest position for him in the rankings. Been one of the most consistent players this season. People forget he only just got in the Masters actually last year. Of course, he won the tournament in the end.
Yes, that little rub on the green there just saved Mark Allen. He would have been snookered without that very fine touch on the green.
Just to say, table 2 are underway. Alan McManus, Glasgow's own Alan, of course, is up against John Astley. So that's on the Eurosport player. Alan taking time off on the commentary box to play.
One.
And he's going to be on the green. Would have been nicer on it without the kiss on the brown.
Green ball.
The red next to the black would be ideal to play onto, and he can get to that red. Needs a good bounce. Nicely played.
4.
Would have liked to have been straighter on it, of course, so he could get to the black, but it shouldn't be any trouble going down for the blue. He's looking at the blue. He'd like to get the blue back on its spot, but if not, then the green and brown, quite easy to get to.
Five.
Taking the more difficult green to get position on the reds. And again, nicely played. The lower of these two reds will go to the right corner. And if the top one goes, that makes it even easier. And it does, just.
Nine.
That black takes him into the lead. And nothing really safe.
16.
No, I think the key moment so far was Alan missing that pink to the right middle when he looked like he was nicely in, just looking to settle into the frame. Just came out of nowhere, really.
17.
I'm going to have to take the pink now, but he has nudged the red a little bit further away from the cushion. So that makes the next shot a little bit easier.
Well, here's that miss that I was talking about. I mean, you know, how many of those would he have missed last week? Probably none.
One moment, please, Liang.
Well, he'd like the pink to go onto the blue spot. Makes that red a little bit easier. And it does, so that's worked in his favour.
23.
Should be able to hold for the black, but if not, then he's got to get the right side of the pink. Yeah, no problem.
24.
Needs both of the reds.
31.
But doesn't need a colour off the last red.
$32.
Well, that was missable. Nicely played. Couldn't have played it any better.
39.
Just needs the red.
$40.
Well, the yellow doesn't go, so there's no need for any heroics. Just make sure of the black. I'm sure that Mark Allen would concede.
Yeah, with the black, it's 3 snookers needed. And regardless of Mark Allen's hangover, literal and metaphorical, from the UK Championship, this is a tough draw anyway. It would be in any tournament to face Liang Wenbo in the first round. Such a dangerous player.
And Wenbo 47. And the frame.
Mark Allen remains in his seat. He did have that chance, as I say, missed that pink early on. Come back to Glasgow, day 2 of the Bet Victor Snooker Scottish Open. Mark Allen, fresh from that run to the final of the UK Championship, is up against Liang Wenbo, who's won the opening frame here. They both had chances in the end. Liang made 47, which was enough.
Yeah, good shot. Those kind of shots now are just bread and butter to the top pros. Practice them all the time, just in case that red comes out, as it often does. It often comes out like that, and the cue ball not close enough to the cushion. It's actually a good chance. Take you the more difficult blue, and he's got an easy green. It's a good shot, and look at the way he's played the shot, giving himself choice of 2 reds. If you can see the one to the right corner,
6.
or has he come a little bit too far? That would have led him to the black.
7.
He's very watchable, isn't he, Liang Wenbo, when he's playing well. Strikes the ball very well indeed. And I know we mentioned those 2 maximums that he nearly made in the same match. But the first time he made his maximum break, he made 4 centuries in that match. I think, I'm not sure who was playing.
14.
Bear with me and I'll soon tell you. He was playing Martin Gold. So
15.
he made 4 centuries in a best of 9, including a maximum. That's his scoring power. And I like the way he just played that shot there. Instead of playing it a little bit
22.
harder, where he could have pushed the red safe,
23.
he just gently played the cannon to the red to leave this red that he's going to play for next still available. It's just the way he thinks, and again here he's left it low on this red so he can bring more reds into play when he pots this red. He's a good thinker of the game, Liang Wenbo. And if this works out, who knows, he could win the frame here. Needs to slow down. Wouldn't be
31.
too bad for a right-handed player, but a left-handed player, it's a tough shot. He's going to need the rest. He's just a little bit too pacey. He's opened the reds nicely. I've no doubt that he'll take this black on and maybe even play it with a touch of side to hold for that red to the left of the black. Doesn't need to, because there is a red right over the middle pocket. Well, there's got to be a way. No, he's overcut it. So, a little unfortunate
Then win both 31.
being attacking, but a great chance this now for Mark Allen.
Well, he never looked comfortable on that shot, did he? Wasn't sure how to play it, and always the pressure of the red over the pocket. But at least he got nowhere near it. It's far too thin. Now is this the moment that Mark Allen settles into the match? His form's there, we know that, but he's only had a day off since his exertions in York. Not just Sunday, but the culmination of the whole tournament. All the effort he put in, a couple of deciders he won along the way against Robertson and Bingham. A lot of mental energy expended in a big tournament like the UK Championship.
Yeah, and of course, the massive crowd, live on television, the BBC, and yeah, and this isn't a minor tournament by any means, and we've got a good crowd here today. But after playing in such surroundings, it will be a little bit of a come down until he can get himself into the tournament.
7.
The kiss on the blue didn't work out as planned. He wanted to be the right side of the blue to come back to the reds. This looks good. Keeps running. Choice of reds. Played it well, that, didn't he? Took the risk on hitting the green.
Sure.
Yeah, the long stuff.
Our referee is Glenn Sullivan Bissett, just helping Mark Allen here.
Now, doesn't want to touch the black here, otherwise it won't be on a colour.
Thank you. 13.
He'd have liked a better angle on the black to be able to go into the reds. Not sure if he can get enough left-hand side on the cue ball here to go into them. Well, he got too much on. He didn't want to hit that red. Now, can you see this red to the right corner? If you can, it's not too bad. But that was a really good chance because it was a big target, those reds. Can't see enough of it. So let's end a break. And just little shots like that can change the game. Had he gone into the reds with the insurance of that loose red to the left corner, every chance of winning the frame there, but this is the shot again, making contact with that red. Let's put him out of position. Hasn't quite left the plant, although he is looking at it. Just got to make this. If he was closer to these two reds, it would be a lot easier, but he's got to hit this really thin if he's playing the plant. Well, that's a disaster. Now we wish he'd have played the plant. That was a poor safety from Liang Wenbo. He'll be really disappointed with that. I thought he could have had a go at the plant.
Bit longer this time. Thank you.
That's a good shot he's played there. Lots of run inside, right-hand side on the cue ball, and now he'll go into those four reds with the insurance of this red near the right corner. Doesn't want to knock one to the cushion, so it doesn't need to hit them too hard. Just give them a little tickle. And that will do nicely.
Well, what a chance now for the Northern Irishman. Given a bit of help by his opponent here, but that was a lovely little split. We hear this a lot about players, top players, should they have won more, but there are only so many tournaments. Even now, I mean, there's a lot more than there used to be, but they're difficult to win. Any victory is an achievement. Mark Allen's won 4 ranking titles plus the Masters. There's a lot of players who'd be very happy with that.
16.
Yeah, and he's still only 32, isn't he? So he's got lots of time. I'm sure he'll win a lot more, that's for sure.
22.
He was obviously very disappointed by the last Home Nations event in his native Northern Ireland. He was a little bit tired, I think. He'd won the International Championship, went straight to Coventry, got to the semis there at the Champion of Champions. But also home pressure did tell against Nu Zhuang.
28.
Well, he's fortunate there because had he not been able to see that, he'd have been out of position and there was no need for him to play the cannon.
29.
The red would go. 18 points the difference. Still needs these 2 reds, but it shouldn't be a problem. He looks relaxed out there, I've got to say.
35.
Yeah, I think that's inevitable, really. He's not going to be as intense as he was last week, or at least not yet. Maybe if he's here at the weekend, it might change.
$42.
So, looks like it's going to be 1 each. And already this is turning into a good game.
Yeah, the sort of match I think we were expecting, an open game, very attacking snooker being played. But the odd mistake will also have an impact, and Liang Wenbo
51.
let him bang in here for this frame-winning break.
Thanks, Mark. 54. 58. 63. 69. Mark Allen, 69.
69 will do nicely for Mark Allen to get on the scoreboard. Yeah, an interesting match. It always looked a tough one to call, but Allen delighted to have levelled up. First to 4, remember, to reach the last 64. We're all square in Glasgow. Mark Allen won, Liang Wenbo won. Frame 3 of a possible 7 on day 2 of the Scottish Open. Stuart Bingham and Judd Trump, the winners so far on the Home Nation Series, with, of course, the Welsh Open remaining in February. On table 2, Alan McManus has won the opening frame against John Astley. Of course, it was not a great day for Scotland yesterday. Anthony McGill and Stephen Maguire defeated. John Higgins scraping through at night. Broken rib and all. Graham Dott won, though, as well. He's through. Here's the arena here at the Emirates. It's a massive building, this. 8 tables. You can see them all in a line there. A lot of snooker going on around and about this big arena.
Yeah, and I suppose if you put all the people into one table setup, it'd be quite full. And a good crowd here today. Decent. Just such a difficult match, this, for both players. I know we've said it already, but don't forget, players don't get anything if they don't win. No prize money, no ranking points. So a lot of pressure this first round match, especially for the lower ranked players who desperately need ranking points and cash. Well, maybe a chance to get in behind the yellow. Well, underhit it by a distance. Hasn't reached the baulk line. That wasn't good at all. So chance here, but not an easy one. He's got a lot of reds to avoid. Good pot. And managed to avoid the reds. Just.
1.
Now, has he got the right side of the blue? This was a good pot. Just missed that red luck. And he's nicely on the blue, and if he's the right side, he can get to the reds. If not, then he may have to take the yellow. Well, the pink also goes. Didn't look like it from here, but it does. No.
Liang Wenbo
Thinking
1.
more about the cannon maybe than the pot. So from such a good long red, he misses a relatively easy pink.
One.
Well, he's trying to develop the black by playing that red, because he had an easier red than that he could have played onto the pink, but chose to play the red that he did to try and develop that black, but it hasn't worked out. This is difficult to pot the blue, get back down the table. Yeah, not easy. And
Mark
again,
Allen,
maybe concentrated too much on the cue ball than the blue. So missed opportunities for both players. And that's what he thinks of that.
one.
Well, he's moved the blue away, but he's still on the pink or the yellow. Doesn't want to be straight on the pink now. The red nearest the right corner. Yeah, he's got a good angle there just to drop it in and finish on that red nearest the right corner.
Pink ball.
Just a little too heavy. Didn't want the cue ball close to the cushion.
7.
Should still pot the red, but would have liked to have been a little easier on it. Then you can concentrate on the side of the shot.
8.
It's a sign of how his form has tailed off. He was in the Masters last season, so we're talking a year ago when the cut-off came. He's now 29th in the world. So he really has fallen back, as I say. Didn't get to a quarter-final in the ranking event last season. Not been in one this season. It's a lot of tournaments where he's been making early exits.
Yeah, well, we often say it, don't we, David, that talent alone is not enough. You've got to have everything else that goes with it. The belief, the confidence, probably, as much as anything, to believe that you can win. You only have to play a little bit below your form, and there's so many great players about.
That's the thing, though. He's not been losing really to the top players. He's been losing to players much lower in the rankings than him. James Cahill, Tian Peng Fei, Eden Sharaf, Ian Burns, Sam Baird. You know, all very good players, as you say, but players that in his position he's expected to beat. Just got on a run of defeats. That can change. You're looking, I think, in this era, aren't you, for one good week that can turn everything around.
Yeah, I was talking to Sean Murphy about that yesterday, and he's still got the belief that he's going to do well in the tournament, and rightly so. And that's what the hardest bit is, that you know you're going to come good, but have you got the patience to wait?
$17.
So by taking this red, it frees the black into the right corner. So important, he gets the right side of the pink here. Needs to keep running.
18.
Well, again, as he drops straight on the pink, and this time he can't get to the yellow. Well, chose to play this long red, and he can play this in such a way as to play the cue ball to the baulk cushion, just in case he misses it.
24.
He'd be on the yellow. Well, he could play for the pink again.
$25.
Well, that's a good kiss. Holds his hands up. And that's just about right to get to the black, to the right corner. The only pocket it will go in.
31.
And I'm saying just about right. I thought he was straight on this red, but he's looking at playing the cannon to the red. No, he's okay. He can just drop this in, dead weight. Pinched a little bit on the
32.
pocket for better position. So again, he could finish, do with
39.
finishing high on the black to play for that red next to the black. Didn't manage it last time, but he has done this time.
$47.
Well, he's had a
48.
look at this red to the left middle. But he could have left himself an angle to play the cannon to that loose red. The one above and to the left of the black. That would have left him on the red to the right corner. But I'm not sure if he's got the angle to play that shot, so all his hopes really on this red whether it goes to the middle. He could try and play the cannon. Yeah, he's played it well as well. Choice of reds.
Well, this looks like the winning shot of the frame.
55.
It's already 55 in front. So this pink becomes frame ball.
56.
It's a good shot he played there. The cannon to the red. It was missable. Coming around the two angles just for this red. Above the black.
62.
There's no doubt the draw, first round draw, has focused his mind. He knows how well Mark Allen is playing. He knows he's got to play well himself today, and he is doing so far.
63.
A couple of mistakes in the second frame, but this has been an excellent break.
I think he's a big occasion player, as is Mark Allen. That's what makes it such a enticing draw. Very watchable. Too high again.
63 in
matter.
front though, so
And Wenbo,
with 51
63.
on Mark Allen. He is having a look here, but it's a long way back, you feel.
One. Eight. 9.
Well, with the red, there's always the chance of getting a free ball, and then that changes things.
Yeah, absolutely. I really like to see this kind of fight. Not giving in.
$16.
3 snookers to tie, but with a free ball. 1 snooker to win.
Mark Allen, 16.
Could have done without the kiss on the blue. Well, this would have been easy hit had the cue ball not been close to the cushion. But because it's close to the cushion, It's very difficult to get the amount of side on that you need. Well, he's got. This is a dangerous shot he's playing here. He could hit the black, he could miss the red completely, and it leaves a free ball. He also could hit the red. Doesn't want that in.
1. Frame conceded.
Yeah, obviously wanted to keep the red on for the
Frame,
free ball.
Liang
It's
Wenbo.
gone in, so he's conceded. It was a good break that Liang Wenbo made. That's 63, and it's given him his 1 frame lead restored. Always looked like being against Jimmy White.
Can't wait for that one.
No, we've heard a lot of players, top players, sort of complaining about snooker and not enjoying it and wanting a break. You won't hear that from Jimmy. Jimmy loves it as much now, maybe more now, than he did 30 years ago.
Yeah, he still gives it his all, make no mistake. Still wants it, and he's relishing playing on the match table against a top player like Judd Trump this evening. And you can watch it all live here on Eurosport. I'll be watching it. I'd like to be commentating on it, but unfortunately they wouldn't let me.
We don't need to get too excited, Joe, at your advanced age.
And I probably would. Meanwhile, Mark Allen just isn't finding that top cushion. On his safety shot previously, just reached the baulk line again, and it's just not good enough to put Liang Wenbo under pressure. Although that's not the best shot he's ever played. Should be easy enough to get that cue ball now close to the baulk cushion and put him under pressure. Well, I'm surprised he's playing this shot. No, it goes. So, great shot. That's a lot better than any safety. Didn't realise the red went. So, good chance now for Mark Allen. Another player that likes to get into the reds as quickly as possible.
8.
But misjudged the speed of the table again. Wanted to be straighter on this red.
Thank you. 9. $16. 17.
So still got a couple,
22.
maybe 3 reds that he can still play for. And again,
23.
that wasn't a good positional shot from such an easy red to leave himself this distance away from the black. Wasn't good.
30. 31.
Well, that's just about right. Going to the reds, and it's a big target, this. He wanted to finish in the heart of the reds, and he didn't get the cue ball where he wanted there.
34.
Just have a look at this again. Look where the cue... He wants to hit the red below the pink, or find that gap. But just got a little bit too much into the cue ball. So just a safety. Could have been so much different.
Mark Allen, 34.
And look at the cue ball again for the safety. That's just not good enough. Okay, he hasn't left anything on, but his opponent can get his hand on the table and play a good safety shot back.
They're the safety stats so far. Yeah, again, it may be a slight hangover, you know, from last week. You'd fancy last week that would have been on the back cushion, that cue ball.
Yeah. Would have had to have been.
It's hard to keep that intensity up, you know. It's okay in one tournament, but to come straight to another one, it's difficult.
Oh, make no mistake. After you've given everything in one tournament, to come to another one, it will feel a little flat to him. Very close. But managed to miss the reds. Yeah, this was very close. Could have been a frame winner.
I mentioned about the random nature of the draw. There's actually two amateurs playing each other. Deshuot Poonjang and Luke Simmons are playing each other. Simmons 2-0 up. In fact, he was O'Sullivan's first victim in York. So there'll be a lot of players thinking that can't quite be right. These two meet in the first round, and then out on table, whatever it is for, there's two amateurs playing each other. But that's the nature of it. Well, something just put him off there as he was getting down on the shot. Yeah, I don't know whether it's a light or...
Yeah, well, it's stopped now.
Or something. Well,
Might be that as well.
they seem relaxed enough about it all. Maybe a noise. Anyway, seems to have sorted itself out.
Yeah, this red on the left side cushion just making things a little bit more difficult for Liang Wenbo. He'd like to be able to take this red on, but the natural angle for the cue ball is to be going into that red or close to that red near the left side cushion, and that would be a disaster. So it wants to have a go at this, but miss that red as well. No attempt at the pot. Got very near a plant, which he wouldn't have played. but made sure he missed that red on the left side cushion. Yeah, he couldn't possibly have played that as a plant. He was playing the cue ball. And what about that for a pot?
1.
Well, a little dangerous to take the brown on. It's such an easy snooker.
Mark Allen 1.
Yeah, he couldn't really play anything else. He knows that it's an easy escape, but sometimes you just got to play the snooker, and you never know what might happen.
Well, I think that's encouraging for Mark Allen supporters. You know, he hasn't just come out today and bashed the balls around. He's playing the patient game. Last frame he kept played on for the snookers until that red went in. Of course, he's got Terry Griffiths in his corner, who was known for his patience amongst many other qualities.
Much too hard, and like I said, you never know when a player's escaping from a snooker. Didn't get the pace right there at all. Looking to see if the black goes. If it doesn't, can't see him being on a colour.
One.
Well, maybe you think it goes. Looks very tight, but he's looking to see where it goes if he pots it. So, yeah, I'd say that it will pot. The red below the black will go to the right corner as well.
One moment, please, Mark. Yeah, I think so, yeah. No, it's okay. I'd like to be sure. 8. Nine.
Now, does the black go again? It's the wrong side of the red for the
14.
blue. Looks like it will go.
$15.
£50 the difference.
It does currently.
Yeah, he was saying to the referee that the red goes, and the referee said it does currently, which means it might not do once he's re-spotted the black. It should do, because nothing moved from the last time that he spotted it. So, and there's confirmation it does go.
It was sort of a friendly way of saying, make sure you spot that black properly.
Yes, yes. Still needs another red after the black, and that could have gone kinda. 65 the lead, but 67 still left on the table.
30.
He's looking at trying to make the plant.
Oh, that's a good shot.
He's made
31.
it really well. He's played a good frame here, Mark Allen. There's no doubt, as I say, he's come to play proper snooker today. He's not just bashing them around. He's played some good safety as well.
38. 39.
We know his form's there. And for the second time, he's levelled up.
$46. Thank you.
It's been a memorable 2018 for Mark Allen. It began with him winning the Masters. Of course, this season he's won the International Championship, got to the final of the UK Championship. This is the last event of the calendar year. Chance to end it on a real high in Glasgow this week. First things first, get through the first round against Liang Wenbo. And he's dominated this frame. Liang stays in his seat. And we're all square once again. So set up nicely. Of course, no intervals in these best of sevens. We carry on. It's level at 2 frames all. Yesterday afternoon we saw Ding Junhui play superbly to win his match 4-0 against Nu Zhuang. He'll play Robert Milkins next because the Milkman has beaten Fergal O'Brien 4-0.
Didn't want to play the cue ball back down the table for fear of leaving that red near the right corner. And Liang Wenbo playing that black, freeze that red, freeze the black. So he's trying to keep it an open frame, Liang Wenbo. But he's left an easy safety for Mark Allen. So give up the safety advantage there for the sake of releasing that black. Oh, he's a little low. He's a little low. And that's a poor escape. He'll be disappointed with that, Liang Wenbo. It was such a big pack to go into. He was trying to bury the cue ball just below the pink. Nearly missed the reds. In fact, he could have done with missing the reds. He wouldn't have left that red on. So an early chance for Mark Allen.
Six.
Very nearly missed the pot. He was playing it with right hand side on the cue ball to try and get onto the black, which he has done, but very nearly missed the red. Just looking to see if that red above the black will go to the right corner once he's removed this red.
$15.
And that's just where he wants to be. Pot the red, open the reds up. Oh, so easy to overscrew these and leave the cue ball under the cushion, but getting the speed right. And that's good.
23.
Open the reds nicely. Again, could play the cannon into the gap of the reds then. Not the two reds above the black, but the gap to the right of that. Or he could just drop it in for the reds to the left corner. Well, has he hit it hard enough?
30.
Just.
$31.
Well, again, he could play the cannon to the gap of the reds. There's 3 reds in a line to the right corner, in the middle of those reds. You'd have to be on a red to the middle, at the very least. One to the right corner.
36.
Well, he looked good in that last frame, Alan. He looked to have found not just his game, but also his focusing well. And same can be said
37.
now in this frame. He's not been ahead yet, but this is a chance to edge in front. He had a tough draw last year, actually. Drew Ben Wollaston first round and was beaten 4-3.
42. $43.
Made his 400th
40.
career century last week in York. Only the 11th player to have done that, so it just shows you how heavy a scorer Mark Allen is. He's had 33
49.
centuries this season alone. And, you know, we're only about halfway through.
Just about got past the red, so he's not hampered on this red to the right corner.
56.
He was tight.
$57.
But now should be safe. Easy balls to win the frame by. Made 2 small breaks in the last frame, but he looked good making them. And now flying
64.
round the table.
Yeah, and by winning
64.
this frame with a big break, he's putting pressure on Liang, who's now knows that maybe one mistake in the next, that could be all over. This frame should be all over now. Already 1 snooker needed.
Yeah, 18 seconds a shot, Mark Allen. Liang Wenbo up at 26. Good recovery.
71.
Appreciated by this crowd. Now into these reds, and if something nice happens, and it hasn't, quickly ref.
78. Mark Allen, 78.
78 will do nicely. A very swift break. Just 6.5 minutes that from Mark Allen. And for the first time this afternoon, he's in front, and he's starting to reproduce the form that got him to that UK final last week. He leads Liang Wenbo. He's into round 2 of the Scottish Open. Well, just flick the blue.
Yeah, and I suppose you could say that this is a half chance for Liang Wenbo. Tough red, got to avoid that red next to the black. And that's what puts real pressure on this shot. Those 2 reds to the left of the black, and the black itself, of course. got to be able to miss those reds. Very close, and look at where the cue ball was had it gone in. That would have been a fine shot. Fortunately, he hasn't left anything.
The match I mentioned between the two amateur players, Luke Simmons and Deshawat Poomjang, Simmons has won 4-0. The winner of this match that we're watching now will play Chen Fei Long or Fraser Patrick, who are currently out on table 6, I think, table 7. Yeah, it's table 7. It's 2-1 to Chen Fei Long. They're out there somewhere.
Well, I just don't know how he expected to miss any of those reds taking that red on. There wasn't a gap there. I can't believe he's took that red on. Although he gave it lots of thought, he must have fancied it. Quite incredible, that shot he's just played. Here it is again. How's he going to miss everything? Admittedly, if he'd have hit it thinner, then, but the cue ball would have been going into the black then. Well, what a let-off. He missed that by a long way. Well, it wasn't easy by any means, but you expected him to get closer than that. And could have left something easier for Liang Wenbo. Red down the cushion is tough. Red into the right corner. Oh, must be tight. He's given it a good look, and, well, the red closest to the cue ball won't go, but that one may. Doesn't like anything. Looks like he's going to play the safety. I thought he would take this red on down the cushion into the left corner. Just shows you that he's just not feeling confident. And he realises, of course, that if he misses that red, it could be all over for him. And yet, he took that long red on. Shot previous. That doesn't look anywhere near as difficult. Well, he tried to leave the cue ball on the baulk cushion, and that's some distance away from it, from that easy safety. What about that? Look at the action on the cue ball there. In fact, he's hit it too well. What a terrific shot that was. Look at this, the timing he had in the shot there. He just got hold of that cue ball like magic. What's it got there? After the Lord Mayor's show. And a free ball as well, I think. If it is, he could take the brown. Well, no free ball call, so he must be able to play this red closest to the left corner. Yeah, no free ball. But what a dilemma to have now for Liang Wenbo. He can't afford to let Mark Allen play again and he'd take the red on. And yet he doesn't want to take the red on. Problem again for Liang Wenbo is if he takes a red on, he's going to have to play it with right hand side on the cue ball to avoid the reds, and that makes the shot a lot more difficult. There's a side going on, look. Yeah, good shot. Needs a kiss. Needs a little kiss, and that's too much. Very unfortunate. A thicker kiss, it'd be nicely on the green. Well, what he could play, just touch the green and leave Mark Allen hampered, badly hampered, on all the reds.
Rainbow. And Wenbo, 1.
Meanwhile, it's going well for Alan McManus on table 2, Eurosport player table. He's 2-0 up against John Astley. Alan will be with us this evening in our studio and in our commentary box. Dominic Dale, who was with us last week, he's 2-1 up in his match against Novin Senkarm. Of course, Dominic needing points because his tour place is under threat. And if you don't win in the first round, you get nothing at all.
That's a good shot. Played it with a little bit of safety in mind, but not full safety, because he's on the green or blue. But when you're 3-2 down and within a frame of losing, the green is a difficult shot and so is the blue. Black and pink tied up. Yeah, anything's missable. You can forgive anything. And he's on the red that he played for. And straight away trying to get the blue back on its spot, and by taking the red that he's just taken, the black will now go to that right corner.
46. Seven.
Well, he might just have got the right side of the blue. But it wasn't a good shot on the red. It was such an easy red. And to leave himself nearly straight. No, he's got a slight angle, so he's okay. And this red should lead him to the black.
12.
And if he can get that red below the black next shot, sometime in the near future, the black will go to both pockets, and what a chance he'd have of wrapping this frame and match up.
$20.
And now it's all down to him.
$28. $29.
I think it's been a very professional performance by Mark Allen. You know, he could have pulled out of this tournament. I don't think he would have been criticised
36.
if he had done. And he could have been flat and maybe just knocking them around, but he's played very professionally. He's got better, I think, as it's gone on. He's looked highly focused.
37.
Well, just the first signs, the last two shots. Number one, the black, he didn't finish straight on the red, which meant he had to go down for the blue, and then get in the wrong side of the blue. Needs to slow down or he's on nothing. Played for that red. Well, he's well too hard. He played for the red
42.
to the right of the pink. The third red to the right of the pink. So thin cut this to the right corner. He was fortunate to be on that red because he didn't play for it.
No, but this is half the
43.
battle in snooker. You know, you're not going to be pinpoint with every shot. It's a difficult game. It's how you recover the situation, and he was doing that last week. He's done it again there.
Yeah, it was a good recovery shot, but he was fortunate to be on that red.
51. Jack 46.
Sometimes you just need that little bit of luck as well. Oh dear. Well, that's incredible.
Alan,
It was
46.
going so well. Although there were signs there. Said when he potted the black, he didn't finish nice on the red. Then he finished the wrong side of the blue. After that, he hit it too hard for the red. There was just signs that it was coming. So now Liang Wenbo with an unexpected chance. Probably thought he was out there.
Yeah, that was a surprise, really. Seemed to have recovered the position, having lost it, and then misses that one. So, back in his chair. Wondering if there's going to be a decider.
Played to knock the red off the cushion. Missed it, but he knew he was going to be on this red. To the left corner, but he could have done with hitting that red.
Eight.
No choice of shots to play here. Could just drop it in for the red over the right side of the table, or try and get between the green and brown and come in behind these two reds over the left side. looks good. It looks good. He's unfortunate
15.
there. A little slower. He's on the red to the right corner. A little harder. He's on the red to the middle. Oh, this is dangerous. He's thinking of taking this red onto the middle. That was so dangerous. He tried to hide the red but with the blue. But I don't think he's done it. And a chance to bring the other red off the side cushion. Just shows you how tight those middle pockets are.
One.
Needs another red and a colour after this. And that will do nicely. Played that well.
7.
It's high. I can't believe he's missed that.
Alan, 7.
He's trying to say it drifted off, but it was always high. Never looked in.
Well, it was over, wasn't it? It was on the black. Just needed the black, but this red, yeah, it was always high.
One.
Got to get the black. Well, it's a similar type of shot, a little bit more difficult into a blind pocket. But it should be on the black if it goes in. 25 points the difference. Well, surely the middle pocket looks a little easier. He doesn't think so. Didn't play the pot. It was in, but he played the snooker.
And Wenbo, 8.
This looks good. Has it just come out? Liang Wenbo was a fraction too hard last time round, and that's why he finds himself snookered now. Now that's unfortunate. That's very unfortunate. It brought the yellow into play, got out of the snooker, but the red got over the middle.
He needs red and a colour.
And that kiss will do nicely.
1.
Well, as I say, although it's been a bit of a stumble in this last frame, he's been very professional this afternoon, Alan. 2 days on from that defeat in the UK Championship final to Ronnie O'Sullivan. The point is, he's enjoying playing at the moment. He wouldn't have enjoyed losing in the final, but it was a great run in York, and he can end the year with a great run here in Glasgow.
9.
And that green should secure it. It was a tough draw, this. And in fact, Liang Wenbo's already coming forward to shake hands. Yeah, very tough first round draw. Would have focused both of their minds. Liang Wenbo was in front a couple of times. Alan, though, put together that excellent